This is the Stock Day Podcast, sponsored by Ion Digital, providing secure, compliant ecosystems you can trust. That's Ion Digital. Subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube to stay up to date on penny stock news and interviews. Public information on OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world. Here's your host, Kevin Davis.
On today's show, we're bringing back a returning guest. Name of the company is BioLargo Inc. They trade on the OTCQB under the ticker symbol BLGO. With us today is the company's president and CEO, Mr. Dennis Calvert. Dennis, welcome back to the podcast.
Hey, great to be here. Thanks.
Wonderful. Well, we saw you in late March of 2023. For my new listeners, give us an updated about statement. What do you guys do over there?
Well, we call ourselves an innovator and solution provider focused on innovations that can make the world a better place. Clean air, clean water, cleaner earth. And really, as the company's evolved, we've also developed this incredible skill at providing full-service solutions, primarily through our engineering services company that allows us to take innovation all the way through the cycle into commercial adoption. We've got a number of commercial initiatives that are really significant, breaking out for the company. It's a great time in the history. Took a long time, a lot of money to get to this moment, and now we're really enjoying the fruit of that significant investment in technology and assets. And it's a great time to take a look at BioLargo.
Definitely. Dennis, I saw that last week you guys announced your first quarter earnings. I think revenues were up something like 78% over the previous year. And honestly, I think it was about 288% over last year's quarter one. Why such a dramatic jump? Like, what's going on over there?
Well, most of that credit really goes to the product called Poof, P-O-O-P-H, Poof.com. Yeah, it's awesome. And, that's a story that's a full circle story for the company. That's an odor control product for pets. It was launched a little over a year ago, and now it's just taking the market by storm, expanding nationwide through Walmart. I think it's in about 3,000 stores now, featured on Chewy.com, direct to market, merchandising going on with infomercials and things like that, and of course Amazon. But here's the thing, there's more big retailers coming on board as well, so we think we're going to enjoy the fruit of that continued expansion for quite some time. And it's a great testimony to the staying power of the company to go through this incredibly long development cycle, become expert in the space, refine a product to its perfection, and now watch this product really take the market, which is kind of our thesis for all of our products. And so it's
Sure.
a great time. And then quarter over quarter, it was 78% from Q4 to Q1, just a dramatic increase. And of course, we worry that we can't maintain that kind of pace. That's a pretty incredible jump in one quarter. But quarter over quarter, it's averaging about 30%, 29-point-something% quarter over quarter for almost 2 years. And so we believe that trajectory will continue over the long haul. Don't want to hold it to a quarter by quarter basis, but really a great testimony to the business model, a great testimony to our innovation and developing products, and then thirdly, to testimony to our partner. That's the partner that's doing the marketing at Poof.
Pretty cool stuff. Poof. I'll tell you what, I think I actually almost legitimately bought that the other night on late night TV. I was looking at that and
Hey, listen, I think it's something like 6,000 customers a day are buying that product. I mean, it's pretty incredible. And of course, there's a number of reasons. The product, number one, it works really well. It's super safe, super gentle. The pitch line, which is true, is that no harm to people, pets, and the planet, right? Super safe, super gentle. Incredibly powerful as an oxidizer to break down the components, the chemical constituents that make odor stink. So it literally breaks it down at the molecular level. It's pretty incredible. And you remember, we went vertical in the industrial side. It took us about 7-8 years to really find the market. Landed big national accounts, created a joint venture that's still incubating over in South Korea. We've got big national accounts, doing pumps and misters and trucks and all these things to deliver that chemistry to help whole communities stay fresh and clean, right? It's pretty amazing. And so now to watch it in a consumer product in a narrow category take the market, yeah, that was the design all along, and now it's coming true.
Yeah, it's genius. Well, I want to shift gears, and I noted that your engineering subsidiary revenues were down in Q1 of 2023. What's up with that? What accounts for the dip, and what do you think the outlook for that business unit is from here?
Oh, we're really bullish on the engineering group. I mean, they've really changed the landscape of the entire company over the last year and a half or two. Been with us about 4 years. Last year was a huge year. They had a number of big contracts. We did face some delay in some of those bigger contracts this quarter. We'd hoped to really get the go mark from the clients, and we've got a whole backlog that's just huge, and it is coming. So we're really confident about the future of the engineering group. But as a result of such significant numbers last year, a little delay in some of these implementation by comparison, it really does show a downward dip. And also, we've had them really involved in significant R&D for the company, really completing the build-out of units to go into the field for our PFAS solution, advancing some of our sciences internally to the point of scalability and commercial readiness. So they're busy, and, again, our confidence hasn't waned a bit. So just sit back and watch. They're coming at you.
Yeah, give us a 1-minute update on Clyra, and then why don't we do a 1-minute update on the new battery technology? You guys do so much stuff over there.
We do. That's part of the design of the business, right? And the thesis is to invent it, figure out a solution that can really make a high impact in the world, focus on really big markets like battery technology and PFAS, both massive. Same thing with Clyra. Go through the innovation cycle, prove it up, find the commercial spot, get first market adoption, and then really lean heavily into channel partnerships to see those products and solutions find their way into the mass market. Okay, so Clyra is no different. Clyra is about 8-9 years worth of development work. We cleared the FDA just prior to COVID with a 510K clearance for a product. It's called BioCleanse, and it's used in the surgical suite for infection control. And it's a product that you can put on and inside a wound to provide antimicrobial support during surgery. And the thing that's so novel about it is that it's achieved technical performance results that match the best of the best, or exceed or match the best of the best. But it does so without toxicity and without sensitivity. And all the products that compete at that level have been found to be toxic, right? They're just really harmful for skin tissue. So the idea that you can get that job done in such a gentle way and safe. So our product's actually approved through the clearance of the FDA as a leave-in. You actually leave it in the body. We've got up to 3 days proven antimicrobial activity, biofilm efficacy. I mean, just a whole host of features that separate it. So now we're in that early market adoption phase where we're working with distributors, a number of sales reps. I think the number's over 40 now. We've got a first couple of systems in the process of getting to approval. A few clients. Numbers are not so meaningful yet, but the stage is set for some pretty dramatic growth. And we've also made public the idea that we're negotiating with some pretty serious channel partners. And as those channel partnerships come to bear, it's going to be an explosive growth opportunity that can beat or surpass the growth of poof, and in a very high value market. So it's an incredibly exciting asset. Taking almost $10 million worth of investment in almost 10 years. I mean, here we go. And so now we get to watch that fruit bear out. It's pretty awesome. Incredible.
Yeah, and what about the battery technology?
Yeah, so that's another acquisition. It's an incredible story. Some world-acclaimed electrochemists had developed this battery with almost 8 years of development, formerly with the University of Tennessee, out of the Knoxville area. Remember, we have an office in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. So that's our community. We have a whole full engineering services team. Anyway, this technology was developed almost a decade ago, way ahead of its time. And the founder actually, unfortunately, became ill and passed away suddenly. And when that happened, it's just really a tragic story. And it was just at the verge of commercialization. When it happened, his son, Mario, saved the technical assets, preserved them. He had worked with the company for almost 14 years. He's the engineer and co-developer, and saved all those assets, all those engineering designs, all the proof of claim, all of that work, and brought it to BioLargo. And we put a business deal together to really acquire it and then partner up to go out and see this technology find its way into the commercial market. So we're actually, as we say, we're not in the innovation designing a battery. We're not doing R&D for a battery. We're actually building batteries, right? So our goal is to be in a commercial mode within the next 3 to 6 months with a fully prepared, commercial-ready design. So we're actually building a small production facility in our location in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. That'll be the prototype manufacturing facility. And that'll give us the tools to then leverage that through distribution and direct-to-market selling in what we believe is a battery that can compete head-on with the batteries all over the world, including lithium. Now, it features energy density to match or beat energy density to match or beat lithium. It's got 100% cycle capability, all the way to 100, all the way to 0. And most importantly, it's super safe. It has no runaway fire risk like lithium. It's so combustible. And of course, it can be supplied 100% domestic supply. So it's got a feature group that's set to win. And now we're in what we call remanufacturing, revalidation, and preparation for commercialization. So I'd say in the next, again, 3 to 6 months, we're going to see some pretty exciting things come out of that. And so we're excited about it.
Yeah, let's kind of drill down in and connect the dots on everything we've talked about so far. You guys are very diversified as a company, and you have a lot of great things going on, a lot of moving parts. What do you think is on the horizon for you for the rest of this year in 2023?
Yeah, what's so great about the company is that the business model and the way we approach all these is the same, right? So invent it, prove it up, find the market, make a deal, make the deal with the distribution. So that's the unifying factor. The other unifying factor, by the way, is science and engineering. They're all science and engineering driven. So they really are right in our wheelhouse. Now, the markets you go after, the way you do that, they're unique. They have value propositions. You got to really distill down and make sure you differentiate in the marketplace. So what we're going to witness, we believe, is exactly what's happening at Poof has the potential to happen for all the other operating assets in the portfolio. Battery, medical, medical, the PFAS solution. In each case, we've done the hardest work to invent, to prove up, find first commercial adoption, and then find distribution through partnerships. So we got a number of major partnerships in the works. One of them, for example, we've been working on for almost 2 years now, over 2 years, is Garrett Callahan. Garrett Callahan's the largest privately held water company in North America. We formed a relationship with them to develop a technique and an asset, a device to recycle water that's used in cooling towers, primarily things like data centers. Well, it's a winner. And of course, we had anticipated to be commercial sooner. It's taken a little time, but we've got such a backlog of clients now at the table. We're anxious to get that first win, and then we'll see a crescendo come out of that, working with one of the nation's leading, service providers and sellers of products and services to the market in the nation. And so we provide a supply chain support, right, in that innovation and supply chain to help take the market and go out and do something great for customers. That's the model. And so I think the thing people should focus on is look at Poof, look what happened when it found the right channel with the right people at the right time. Boom. One product takes us really on the verge of profitability. I mean, it's dramatic. We're right at that mark of really pushing to a positive earnings per share, right? So now in the portfolio, there's a number of these coming that way. And we think they're all going to have a chance to really make a dramatic impact, just like Poof. So there's a lot to watch, and stay tuned. As I say, look every 6 months. The face of the company is so dynamic, and at the core, it's innovation, finding the market, making the partnerships, and letting it rip. So there you go.
Folks at home, you've been listening to Dennis Calvert. He is the president and CEO of BioLargo, Inc. They trade on the OTCQB under the ticker symbol BLGO. Dennis, we have so much to talk about in the future, definitely before this year ends. But before we get to that point, what are the listeners going to take away from this interview when they're listening at home, in the gym, and whatever it is they're doing right now? What do you're talking to them right now. They just came to this point in the interview. What do you got to say to them? This is the takeaway, man.
Sure. If you haven't seen Poof, make sure you go to poof.com. If you haven't used it, make sure you get one. I mean, it's incredible. And then remember that that's an example of exponential growth that's in the portfolio embedded. We've got over 8 technologies and a whole team to execute. So our critical mass is swirling and expanding, and the next 6 and 12 months and 18 months are going to be an incredibly exciting time. So watch this company. It's one to watch.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dennis.
Hey, great. Go BioLargo.
This program is entirely sponsored and produced by La Jolla Media, LLC, which is responsible for the content. The opinions and information provided on this program are for educational and research purposes. Stock Day encourages all listeners of this program to do their due diligence and research when determining investment strategies that will work for them, or to seek the assistance of an investment professional.